Okay, so they see no future in it. They see no reason to graduate, and there's nobody there willing to help them. A lot of times they live in a single-parent home, and the mother's working all the time, or the father's working all the time. They don't have anybody at home who can either help them with their work, for whatever reason. They don't understand the work, or they don't understand the language, or maybe they're just not there. And all it takes is for somebody to come up and say, "Hey, what are you doing? Can I help you?" And sometimes something like that is all it takes. So as far as some kind of social program, unfortunately, right now in the barrio, the only thing they got is the Brown Berets. We're the only ones that say, "Can we help you?" That's all it takes sometimes, and the ganas for us to do that.
So, I think this has been very, very informative. It's been very, very productive. And I can't thank you enough for agreeing to participate in this and missing out on what sounds like a wonderful party to come in here and talk about ideas and experiences instead of celebrating.
Right.
This is an anniversary.
40th anniversary.
Yes,
40.
it is worth celebrating. I think for myself, I'm delighted to see how the idea of the Brown Berets has spread. And it is an idea. The Brown Berets are really, if you take away the uniform, it's an idea that was born in the heads and hearts of some young people 40 years ago who really committed themselves to the idea and the ideal, la causa. And whether they had a uniform or not, what they were trying to do was to bring justice to their own people as well as to others. So I'm very proud to have been associated with you all many years ago, and I wish you the best for the next 40 years. Do you think there will be Brown Berets 40 years from now?
I hope not.
You hope not. Why not?
I don't want to see my grandchildren in some dark room planning out a protest, okay, for something that we've been fighting for 80 years by then. I hope that by that time, things will have come to a situation in time where we won't need the Brown Berets anymore. That's a dream.
The self-destruct.
That's the dream.
Well,
but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But I would like to see, I would like to see an ideal world where we don't need to struggle and to protest for our rights.
It's always going to be a struggle. It's always going to be lucha. It's always going to be la causa and actions for la raza.
Unfortunately, I think you're right.
Yeah.
But I would like.
Because you can see we're facing the same problems in the 60s. Dropouts.
Exactly.
Discrimination. Problem for the
brutality.
Is the thing.
It's
the same thing. Believe me, this system will never accept us. So we will have to fight always. Brown Berets always need to be in action. And we're going to be there 40, 80, 100 years later. Because my daughter is telling her to train her kids to be a Brown Berets. And we're going to follow it. And we're going to reorganize them again.
Well, in a way that sounds hopeful. In another way, it sounds very...
Or sending us to go fight their war.
We need education.
Okay, they need to reduce our numbers, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're reducing our numbers. It's ethnic cleansing.
You know, that's foster home. It's another conspiration against our people.
Oh,
it's mostly Latino blacks, and they this is something has to do with the government. That's it. The government's messing the whole thing. I believe that, and I'm sure, and I say it. Because with the foster home, they separate families, they separate minds, they do those kids. The only future they have, the jail or the cemetery. There is no future for most of those kids.
Well, talking about the kids, talking about separating families, I mean, look at these raids that they're doing all over the place. They're separating families. The father goes to one country, the mother goes to the other. But the little kids,
what
do they do with the little kids that are American citizens?
The little kid goes for
They're
foster.
holding them in
that foster, they put the kid
That's where they're holding them in the
it's a Mexican-American, they put the kid with Afro-American.
Now, wouldn't child services be better suited to helping those kids? Putting them in the foster home? better than being put them in a
It's a
prison just because they're just
conspiration.
born here in this country.
Conspiration.
That's the only crime they committed. But yet that is what our government is doing. They're systematically, trying to reduce our numbers. And they're gonna succeed if we don't wake up.
That is
If our people don't wake up, that it's
Yeah,
Pretty
that's why we have so many gang members, because the society manipulate them to become gang members. You think they don't have a way to have control around the schools? That people, it's just, I think.
The problem that we have with so many of the minorities fighting against each other,
It's manipulated.
It is, because there's a suppression. There's a suppression of those minorities that's causing
Look what they
them,
did. They put us
that's
in
causing them
America.
to fight with each other because it's a matter of survival. It's a matter of survival because we have these territorial instincts, right? Because we have to fight for what we have left because they have been suppressed so much over the
The
years.
day the minorities unite, we will run this country. The days of when the minorities unite, talk about Jews, Mexican blacks, Indians. When we reunite, it's not gonna be another power here. But it's gonna. That's a dream, because I find very hard for Americans to get along with Mexicans. I find very hard to Jews to get along with blacks. I know the society because I live in between there. I've been there with them.
well.
But it's hard to be a Chicano too.
It's hard to be.
It's hard to be a Chicano.
It's hard to be a true
We
Chicano.
will never be fully accepted by Mexicans as Mexicans, and we'll never be fully accepted by Americans as Americans.
Exactly.
So we got to be the best Mexican we can be, and we got to be the best Chicano we can be. Okay, and that is a hard
that's
thing
true.
to do.
That's true. But that's why we have to, the leaders, they need to realize a way how to make balance and try to reach and connect.
But that's why the Chicano community needs leadership. And right now, I hate to say it, there is no leadership out there.
We do have.
We don't have no leadership. All we have is David Sanchez.
David Sanchez.
That's
we
it.
do
But who
have.
else? Who else do we have?
We need unity.
We need unity.
Well,
we need
there are a
role models and
lot of
examples in the
Hispanic
community.
surnames.
Well,
And there are a lot of
used to
people,
work very close
like
with
I'm
Kansas.
Hispana, there's politicians, there's these are leaders. But where are they? When the
That's a difference. Long as they belong to society, they're the same thing. The same clock. They're the same. Don't think they're gonna help you. They move on with the system.
Politicians themselves are controlled as well.
well, I don't think that you can blame a whole group of people for what we're seeing now.
I think
But
we need unity, and the only way to have unity is to touch the spiritual, make some kind of spiritual touch, and try to let them know people. Everybody's suffering the same problem. Afro-Americans, Mexicans, even Chinese right now, they suffer a lot with the immigration. So, in America we have genocide. In Germany we have the Holocaust. It's not much difference. All these kind of such things made by human society. Human behave. We have to stop. We have to stop. We need to see the world with more love, because love and unity should be one of the base.
Well, you're cutting out a very broad agenda when you say that. Very broad agenda.
Because I said the government is conspiring against us. It's true.
No. It's all of it. All of it together. And I think, we've gotten articulated tonight some really good ideas about where the Brown Berets need to go to bring the next step about. And I think we've talked about mentoring, we've talked about educational change,
Education is a
we've
weapon.
talked about
It's nothing else.
We've talked about a need for change in the system of justice, and then we've talked about the need for pulling people together and helping them see their common cause rather than killing each other, in order to win some very small privilege or perk. So we've really covered a lot, and it's going to be up to you to go out there. I'm certainly not going to go hide in a closet either. But
I can't. After I put this uniform, it will be impossible for me to hide.
excuse me, but it's going to be up to you to carry it forward. And 40 years from now, you four will still be here.
Probably I'll die soon because I have disease.
No, you'll be here, and you're going to be the symbol for the next generation. What? Tell us, you haven't spoken hardly at all.
Oh, she did the 100th strike.
To organize is, I'm an organizer for the Berets, so yeah. So to organize here in Los Angeles, how you said, is a graveyard or a tomb. It's really hard to organize because once you get the group, they split apart.
Yeah.
You know, and once you get another group, they split apart again. You know?
But later, why?
And
They
because
kick
of
them
your
out of the
yelling.
schools. They give them low grades. Retaliation.
And then they try to make them do work in their schools, and because we're going to LUSD, and they see that they're going to LUSD to see that they are doing, they're protesting against the
System.
that school, and they're saying that, oh, I see you in the TV. Now I'm gonna give you homework, so you can't go and protest anymore. You know?
Oh, they kick them out of the school, like
And then, like, when I try to go to another place, like in South Central, I get more people over there. You know? Over there, I already got 10 people, and they keep on calling me, hey, are you gonna come back, you know? And I tell them, it's that I don't have a actual spot so I could stay over there, you know? So I could really organize in that spot, yeah. So it's really hard to organize in Los Angeles, yeah.
it's hard to organize without money too.
It is hard. So at the same
Without
time,
money,
you have to
because you need
educate
money
at
for
the same
organizing.
time. It's hard.
Okay.
It's hard to
I
organize.
appreciate the time you give us, your time. I appreciate the time you give it to us.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I think I'm gonna die. I will never speak English right, but enough English to protest. How about that?
To protest the requirement that you speak English.
I don't think so. I can protest in Chinese and Japanese, any language.
And what all these people don't understand is, while we're in the struggle to make things better for our own gente, for our own communities, hopefully we'll make things better for everybody in all the communities.
That was what I was waiting to hear.
That is very important.
That's what I was waiting to hear, because I had the question for the previous group that I never got to, which was, how do you see your efforts in the Brown Berets having made life better for you, and then next made better for your community, and made better for the society as a whole? And I never got to ask that question because we got carried away on so many other issues. But you just answered it, because you've pointed out that what you do in making life better for Chicano youth is making life better for the whole society. And that's a really critical point.
And one thing I like to get out is that this is not about being racist or anything like that. I have members in my chapter that have blonde hair, blue eyes, and they're German. And it's not about that. This movement, to me, is not born out of race or out of hate for anybody.
Yeah.
This movement is, we do it out of love for our raza, our people. And in saying raza, I mean the people, all the people. We all have to learn how to live together.